Hey everyone, I wanted to talk to you today about something that's not commonly done anymore when recording music, and that is one microphone recording. And I think for me, I've been doing this now, just the one microphone in my videos for the past little while, because I kind of wanted to break the mold a little bit as far as what people are hearing. And it's not uncommon nowadays to record all the different elements of what you're doing separately, mixing them exactly how you want them to be, and then putting them back together as an entire mix and releasing that for everyone to hear. And that's what we're used to hearing, actually. Most of the songs that we hear are really, really processed, very edited tracks that have had a lot of work done from when they were first recorded to what you actually hear at the end. But sometimes this leaves us with an impression of what we're expecting to hear, like if we're going to listen to someone live, or maybe we're hearing them sing on like a morning show or something, and you're listening to it and you're going, this doesn't sound at all like the album. Like they sound so different live than what I've heard from the actual recorded version. And that's because so much editing has taken place to get to that point. And in some ways, it's actually made, musicians not have to work as hard to really hone your craft and get better at what you're doing. Because you're used to recording everything separately and not having to really dial in that sound as best as you can to make that recording as close to a finished product as possible just from the initial recording itself. So for me, like, I know there's mistakes in the videos that I put up, like little things here and there, or even sometimes like vocally, it's a little out of tune, or I'm making a choice just midway through the song and I'm thinking, oh, this might be cool to do, and then I do it and I'm like, oh, it wasn't perfect, but whatever. It's part of that live experience, as if you're sitting in the room with me listening to me play. And I'm limiting myself in some ways with the one microphone because I can't do any vocal editing or anything like that. So if there is a really bad take, then yeah, you got to start over. I mean, if you just totally bomb playing a song, then there's no other option. You gotta go from the beginning again. But I would much rather have that for my own growth as a musician and for the sake of people hearing these songs as close to how I can actually sing and play them as possible. But it also makes me now have to play guitar at the same time as singing instead of just focusing on one thing at a time. So for me, I like this better. I like to push and challenge myself in this way to just grow as a musician. And not everyone likes that. But I think that it's something that we've lost over time. At one point in time, if you were recording on tape, it was expensive. You just got the whole band together and you recorded in one take. And if there's little mistakes here and there, which you even hear on vinyl sometimes, there's a mistake that's being played, and they left it because they're like, you know what, that little thing there, it's just how we played it, and it's not worth the cost of re-recording the entire song because of this one mistake that someone made while we were recording. And we've gotten to a place now where people who were really good live bands that sounded like the albums are really not as much anymore. And I'm hoping that I can be as true to how I sound as possible when I record something and put it out here on YouTube. So that's just my goal. But I know there's some difficulties with recording this way as well, and I'm going to show that to you. So it takes a bit of time to figure out how you actually want to position this microphone. Again, if you're recording things separately, you can have the microphone right up near the guitar, position however you need, check it, okay, yeah, that sounds good, record just the guitar, focus on how far away it is from the mic, all that stuff, and you'll get exactly what you're looking for. But when you're recording with one microphone, you can't be close. Because if you're too close to the guitar, you're going to get too much guitar sound. If you're too close to your voice, you're not going to get enough guitar sound. You kind of want enough space between you that the microphone's actually picking up everything evenly. And you can see I've got the microphone on a bit of an angle more towards my head than the guitar, because the guitar is naturally louder than my singing. So for a lot of this, I don't want so much guitar sound. I want the guitar as a background portion of the recordings. So I want more of the vocals through than the guitar, so I position the microphone that way. But it's also now going to capture a lot more of your environment. So you're going to hear the room that I'm singing in because of the distance between myself and the microphone. And some people don't like that either. They want to just have that very controlled sound where they can add their own reverb space sound on it and manipulate that sound how they want that way. But for me, again, I want it to be like you're here with me in this room listening to me sing. So I'm going to demonstrate just how positioning this mic is going to make a factor, and then even distance makes a factor when you're recording with one microphone if you want to give that a shot. So first, I'm going to leave it how I normally have it set up. The microphone's on a bit of an angle. I'm maybe about 2.5, 3 feet away from the microphone, and it sounds like this. And I'm just using Unwritten as an example here. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the diary. See, this is what happens. You make mistakes and it's just there. So let's try again. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Okay, so that's how I normally set it up. That's just the positioning of the mic. If I'm closer than that, let's say I'm going to move in just a bit here, still try and position it towards my head, but now I'm maybe about 1.5 feet away from the microphone. I'm sorry, I'm cutting myself off here a bit. But just to give you an example of what this is like being closer to the microphone itself. I'm going to get a lot less room sound, but I'm also going to get a lot more vocal sound, I think, in this mix than before. So here's how it sounds at about, again, 1.5 feet from the microphone itself. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Okay? So it makes a difference there. I hope that you hear that. And then I'm going to actually position this in another way as well. So let's say we're just coming kind of straight forward, kind of imagining that the microphone's almost in between the vocals and the guitar. And what you're going to get now is probably too much guitar in the mix, from my opinion. So again, I moved back to about 2.5, 3 feet away, and I think this will add a bit too much guitar in the mix, but we'll hear that out as well and see what it sounds like. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Okay, so there's a lot to do with the positioning of the microphone and what you're getting, but again, what you're hearing is what's happening in the room. There's nothing that you're really hiding in this way. You can't go later on and just edit everything like crazy and then slap it all back together and release it in that way. And I think that's why people avoid the one microphone recording method. But for me personally, I think it helps me grow as a musician to be able to deliver just a closer and a more polished experience from myself as a person as I'm playing and singing live in this room. And it also, I think, gives a more natural and realistic representation of music to the listener as well. So maybe give this a try. Maybe if you haven't done this one recording before, then give it a go. This here is a Shure SM7B that I'm using through my Apollo, but realistically any interface and microphone that you can use that is going to do this job for you will be a good option. So try it out and see if it works for you. I know that it's not as commonly used and it might be a bit more vulnerable for you to give this a try because you're much more exposed. Like it's as if you're sitting down in your house and you have someone there and you're like, hey, I'm just going to play this song and I want you to listen. That's sort of the experience you get because you can't hide anything. You can't go later on and edit it and hide behind, vocal processing or anything like that. So I think as just a musical community, it's good to sort of try this technique out at least and push yourself in this way to record some things. Even if you don't even release it and have people hear, it's good for yourself just to challenge yourself in this way and start to understand what you're getting from a microphone, a single microphone, and where you need to grow even as a musician as you play. So I hope this is helpful for you today, that you've been able to just see what this one microphone setup looks like and why I've chosen to do it, and hopefully it continues to help us grow as musicians along the way. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you've enjoyed, and as always, love you guys.